I wanted to really make a video on weightlifting cues. I was thinking about them, and I wanted to make a video on why they're good, why they're bad, when to use them, when not to use them, and with the internet, should we maybe possibly get rid of them? Now, I know that sounds a little weird, but we'll get to that later on in the video. And I think you're going to agree with me after this video. Alright, so weightlifting cues are really good because when you teach a beginner, they really don't understand what's going on. So you need to really dumb it down and really speak out easy things that they would be able to kind of get the gist of by just what you're saying. So for instance, break the bar, hopefully they're going to know to externally rotate their shoulders. But that's where we get into the problem. And that's how they can be bad, because to different people, things mean different things, especially non-athletes, when things don't become intuitive for these individuals. If you tell one guy to spread the floor for squats, when they go to spread the floor, they don't really understand what that means. I mean, are you spreading the floor with your feet apart? Are you spreading the floor by twisting it, your toes? Are you spreading by twisting the heels? It leads for a lot of confusion. So that's how they can really be bad, is because instead of saying, the medical or biomechanical terminology, so break the bar, is externally rotating the shoulders. So with the internet, I think that we can get to a place now where there's a lot more learning, and we can say the correct terms instead of just using these weightlifting cues that were from a time when, not everyone was a physical therapist or, understood anatomy and biomechanics and everything. But, I mean, the fitness on YouTube and just in general, because of the internet, everyday life is spreading like wildfire, and people are getting smarter and smarter and smarter, and there's so many, and it can be annoying because everyone thinks they're a doctor, but it's also good because people really are learning. And even though some people don't know as much as they would think, including myself sometimes, because of the internet and great people like Dr. Kelly Starrett and many, many others, he just came to my mind because he's always talking about, weightlifting cues and what the body needs to do and everything. And but to digress and get back to weightlifting cues, I think what they are used for most, and what they should continue to be used for, is competition and individualist training. When a coach sees a guy who has a problem with externally rotating the hips on a squat, which is spreading the floor, when that power lifter gets up to the platform and goes to do his squat, are you really going to sit there and say, alright, let's externally rotate them hips and, it's just, are you going to throw out all these biomechanical correct terms, or are you just going to say, come on, spread the floor, to remind them? Yeah, of course, you're just going to spread the floor. And that's what I think weightlifting cues are really good for still, and should still be used for, is to remind that individual to do what he needs to do that he often has trouble with. And in them regards, that's what I think weightlifting cues are good for. But when teaching people, I think, weightlifting cues can be easier, but it also can create a lot of confusion. So why not start learning the correct biomechanical terminology and using that so we can really get a better understanding of what we need to do with our bodies instead of using these idioms and weightlifting cues that sometimes don't really necessarily convey the best thing that we need to do in terms of like directly, like breaking the bar. Not to, I'm about to wrap this video up here soon, but, breaking the bar could mean pulling it apart. It could mean breaking it this way, breaking it that way. Who knows what it necessarily means unless it's, breaking it like spaghetti and externally rotating and bringing in them elbows to not let them flare. So that's pretty much what I think on weightlifting cues, and I hope that really kind of helped you think about where we take it from here with them. So I don't know, it was just something I was thinking about, but alrighty, that's it.